We'll just start in a minute. Let a few more people join in. Let's start with the presentation. Before we start, Rukmini, Nirja, anything you want to share, or you have any questions about this topic? Anything you specifically want to learn? Mm-hmm. Nirja, I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. If you're saying something, I can't hear you at all, Nirja. नहीं, आपकी आवाज़ कट कट के आ रही है, समझ नहीं आ रहा. So one of the slides I will be discussing some brands which you can use, which I recommend. Apart from the tube, what other brands you can use? There is a slide on that, and uh, I've also added a slide on monsoon since that's the season right now. What are the issues for skin and hair in monsoons, and what products can be used for that? So we'll come towards for in these topics towards the end. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll start with the presentation. Any questions you have, just keep jotting them down. After it gets over, I'll have a monologue of about half an hour. Then we can always look at the questions. Is that okay? Nirja, I still can't hear you. I'm just starting because there seems to be some. Huh. Request everybody to go on mute, and now I'll have a monologue of about half an hour. Then again, we can discuss. Huh? We'll have time to discuss. All right. So this presentation is basically about all the hidden toxins in your daily life. We don't even know what all we are ingesting. And a lot of our health issues are because of these toxins. It's not because of what you just eat. Usually we think about our diet. क्या गलत खाया, कल क्या गलत खाया, यहाँ गए थे, वहाँ गए थे, ये खाया, बाहर का खाया. So it's not only that. It's also the products you use in your kitchen, in your bathroom, in your house, on your skin, on your hair. So today we will learn to identify them, learn to read labels, and how to make our homes safer spaces. That is how this journey had started for me, and this is what I want to educate. Request everybody to mute themselves so that I'm not disturbed by the noises in your backgrounds. All right. So, Natur was born in 2020 with a single simple belief that everyday rituals should heal us, not harm. And what we do is there's a blend of Ayurveda with some modern science. So it's not only Ayurveda or natural living, it's also a lot of science into it, and that goes into our formulations. At what choices we should make for improving the health of ourselves and our families with simple daily choices. Before I start, a bit about my background. I was earlier in the corporate arena. I have 23 years of experience, and I was actually very happy. But the turnaround came in my life after my stint. I had a 1.5 year stint at a hospital, and that is where I saw how patients are being created, how people are getting addicted to medicines. And that is what was very, very eye opening for me, how medical insurances are being misused. And I'm not saying that all doctors are bad, it's not so. I personally have a lot of good, genuine doctor friends. So there are all kinds of people out there, like it is in all professions. But I personally saw a few unethical people in that profession, unethical practices. Again, some of them, not all. And that is what made me think that I need to take my health in my hands. I need to help my family make the right decision. And I feel if the woman of a house is educated, the family is safe. That is what I feel. And uh, I've just been educating myself all these years so that whatever decisions I make for my family, they are absolutely safe. Okay, now moving ahead. Any questions, please note it down. We'll take them towards the end. So, this is what we will be covering today in the session. So, uh, anybody wants to share their thoughts on how many chemicals do you think you use uh, in your uh, uh, in your daily life before 9 a.m.? Any number you want to give before I give it away? Okay. Yeah. So we all carry in our bloodstreams if we've led normal lives and we have been using the normal products which are being, I mean, by normal I mean brands like Colgate, Lux. I mean, I have used all these brands when I was a child when I did not know about reading labels. So, on an average, all of us carry, I mean, if you have used all those brands while growing up, we carry about 400 to 700 chemicals in our bloodstreams. And that is what the accumulation, when that happens and when the body can't handle anymore, that is when we get diseases. So, that is like a simple math. I don't know how to admit people on their own. Okay. And before 9 a.m., we all are exposed to, again, with normal brands, we all are exposed to about, I would say, about 100 odd chemicals on a daily basis. That is the accumulated toxic load we are taking on a daily basis between our kitchens and bathrooms. So, an average person uses about 15 to 25 personal care products daily, and this includes everything, exposing themselves to 100 plus different chemicals. Before 9 a.m. Alone, a typical routine with typical brands, you can expose you to 50 to 80 chemicals, and then more chemicals happen as the day passes. Women, on an average, because we also like to do makeup and all. I mean, I don't, but I'm talking about regular women. Uh, they are exposed to 150 to 170 chemicals through their personal care products. You know, the nail paints, the salons we go to, or so many things we get done, no? Makeup and all. And I see so many women who look nice in photographs, but when I meet them, when I meet a lot of clients on a regular basis, they come all caked up. थोड़ा सा मेकअप सुबह किया था, like that. And I mean, I don't have any makeup products, so I feel so sorry for their skins, because it's like a catch 22 situation. You'll never get okay because you're always clogging your pores with toxic shit like uh, BB creams and compacts and foundations. So I feel very, very sorry for them because they'll never get okay. Yeah. And about 60% of what you apply on the skin is absorbed into the bloodstream. And why 60%? Because it also depends on the molecule size. So our skin has got pores all over the body, but there is a particular size of the pores. So the nanoparticles go in, and the bigger ones, they don't go in. So, and there are a lot of nanoparticles in skincare, hair care, to make it more effective. And the sad part is, in our industry, most ingredient combinations are never tested. So individual ingredients का तो पता होता है कि इसका ये side effect है, ये नहीं. That you can read on online as well. But some combinations are never tested. So you don't know in a shampoo that for the smoothiness or for the nourishment or whatever 5 6 ingredients are going in it. What if there's a chemical reaction because of them? One doesn't know. But then you pay the price for it. And over the long term, it is not one product, it is the accumulation of multiple products, multiple days, multiple years. That is what leads to diseases. So, first is um, it's a myth that not everything is a chemical. Everything is a chemical, I would say. Even water. Water is something natural, but water also has a chemical name. It has a chemical structure, H2O. And in chemistry terms, everything is a chemical. Natural is not always safe. And whatever I'm saying, I will come to examples later. Okay, this is just some facts. And synthetic is not always harmful. Like I use preservatives in my products, but if I were not to use preservatives, those preservatives are like naturally derived. They're not 100% natural, but they're a mix of a few natural ingredients. But my preservative can give a shelf life of about a year, not more than that. And anything claiming longer shelf life, like 2 3 4 5 years, which many imported goods give, that has to have a synthetic preservative. And what matters is the uh, accumulated load on the body and how it impacts in the long term. Sometimes uh, a synthetic product made under safer conditions and with less impact on the body or no impact, those combinations are also possible. So it's good to study, it's good to educate yourself what is safe, what is not safe, and then take conscious choices. So there are three types of ingredients: natural, naturally derived, and synthetic. Natural is something that comes out of nature. For example, aloe vera. We all have aloe vera plants in our kitchen. So aloe vera is a natural ingredient. You just pluck it and you use it. Okay. And then what is a naturally derived ingredient? Naturally derived would be something like uh, rose water. So if you take rose and then you steam distill it, the water that comes after the steam distillation process, that is naturally derived. And then what is a synthetic ingredient which has no bearing to nature and it is made in a factory? So these are the three types of ingredients that are possible. Natural is not always safe. I made that claim, so why do I say that? These are some of the example. Like poison ivy is present in nature. Snake venom is present in nature. Arsenic. All of these things are not safe. They can give you toxic overload and can also be fatal. Essential oils, they are natural, but if you use them directly on the skin, they can burn your skin. Raw honey, it is safe for us, but if you give it to an infant, they could have allergies and stomach issues. They're not safe for infants. So nature is definitely powerful, but it is not always safe. And even with natural products, one needs to uh, be educated what to use, what not to use. Synthetic is not always harmful. So there are some synthetics which have been tested for stability over skin, over hair, and testing has been done, ethical testing, and in small doses they are not harmful for our bodies. For example, vitamin C, vitamin C stabilized form, any vitamin C serum that you use, या तो हम संतरे का छिलका लेके उसको निचोड़ के वो लगा लें, that is natural vitamin C, or we eat santra or something like that, mosami, that is natural. But if you are using something like a vitamin C serum from the market, it will definitely have a stabilized form of vitamin C, which is not natural, but it is safe because we use it in particular percentages, like 1%, 2%, 5%. So there are different brands using different percentages. Under 10%, it's absolutely safe to be used. You just use 5, 6 drops every day. That's fine. Hyaluronic acid, it is usually often synthesized. Not all forms are natural. Mild preservatives. Preservatives are required. If you don't use preservatives, then the toxic overload because of the germs that happen, they are more harmful than the preservative itself. तो या तो रोज नया नई चीज़ें बना के लगाओ, either you do that, and if you are buying something which is ready made which will last you for a year or so, it has to have a preservative, and preservatives are usually naturally derived or synthetic. Then dermatologically tested actives. There are so many actives that are trending right now. Salicylic acid, glycolic acid, and so many other such things. So they are synthetic, but used within particular percentages, they are safe to be used. Natural versus synthetic versus toxic load. So any of these things, if used repeatedly in high quantities and unsafe, which are not like tested, they can be unsafe for the body. So neither is everything safe, nor is everything unsafe, and it all depends on the toxic overload and the long term exposure. So these are some of the daily use products which we will be talking about in the presentation today. This is what we all use, or we use most of these products, which we will see how to see what is safe and what is not safe. So toothpaste, we all have used a lot of brands. While growing up, this used to be my favorite brand. So I've taken some of the brands which I used to use while growing up. And just now that I know that you have to read the backside of the label, पहले तो कभी नहीं पढ़ा. Just read what is written under warning sign. Keep out of reach of children under 6 years of age if more than used for brushing is accidentally swallowed. Get medical help or contact a poison control center right away. This warning sign is mandatory to go in many toothpaste brands, not just Colgate, many of them. Why do they have to write that? Why is it mandatory to be written? Because it is poison. If you can't swallow it, but even in the gums and all, there is skin, it is still absorbing it. So long term toxic load of this product is very, very harmful. So read the ingredients and don't buy anything which has such warning sign. We'll come to some safe brands later. Okay, first and foremost, we will talk about the brands which are unsafe or what to look in a product. Mouthwash. Most of the mouthwashes that you use, I personally used to use Listerine a lot. These are the ingredients, and they're very, very toxic in the long term. Ethanol, SLS, chlorhexidine, methyl salicylate, parabens, triclosan. These go in most of the mouthwashes. Face washes. They can, I mean, they may give you that temporary glow. I used to use some apricot face wash. I'm not remembering the brand name, but instantly I used to feel that I've become fairer. And I used to feel very good about it. Though I don't need fairness, I'm pretty much sorted in terms of genetics. But still, while growing up, I had this obsession with fairness, like a lot of people I see today, and uh, it's really sad because then we end up using products like these, and then it leads to skin barrier damage, endocrine disruption. They also have carcinogens. So of course I don't use that apricot face wash right now, but yeah. Shampoo. If you read the ingredients of shampoo, if you just take a picture and just upload it on ChatGPT or whatever AI platform you use and see whether it's safe or not, this is all that will come out. Up to it's so easy. In our times, we did not have AI while growing up, but now it's so easy to see what is safe, what is unsafe. So do those tests. So sulfates, parabens, synthetic fragrances, anywhere you see the word perfume or synthetic fragrance, that is 30 to 100 chemicals. Silicons, formaldehyde releasing preservatives. So a lot of this toxic shit goes in our shampoos. And what is the buying decision? The price, celebrity endorsements, how your hair smells after the shampooing. I had a colleague in one of my jobs. She used to keep smelling her hair the whole day. I mean, that was the only thing that mattered to her. This smells good. This doesn't smell good. Yeah, sad. And she has so many hormonal disorders right now. I was speaking to her the other day, and she's on so many pills, and she's so much younger to me. She has a 5-year-old child. I mean, if something happens to her, what happens to the child? So it's sad that I mean, we have so much more burden on our shoulders as women of our families. We have so many more responsibilities, not burden, responsibilities. So we have to be extra careful about what we do. So yeah, I do try telling her, but there's only so much I can do. Soaps versus synthets. Uh, Most soaps that we are using, which are prevalent in the market, are not even soaps. They are synthets. Synthet is short form for synthetic detergent. So the soaps that you see in the market, what they do is they just put 25, 30 chemicals together in a mold, and they let it dry, and within an hour a soap is created. It's a synthetic detergent. It's not real soap. Real soap is made with three ingredients: oil, water, and lye. And you blend them, you emulsify them, you put it in molds, you leave it for 6 to 8 weeks. That is how long it takes for a soap to cure. And then the soap can be used. Those are real soaps. I don't see many of those in the market. Most are synthets, and they have issues like SLS, triclosan, parabens, synthetic fragrances again, EDTA. So all of these ingredients are present in the synthets available, and I don't see the one-fourth moisturizing cream because of which I used to buy my soaps. And I used to see celebrities sitting in bathtubs endorsing soaps. I bought all of those soaps. I remember I used to be really fascinated with the little girl, and my mother every Sunday उनका काम होता था bathroom में. She used to take a balti of water, and I used to bathe myself with little, and then for washing she would put the balti on top, and I would feel I'm that girl sitting in the waterfall, and I would sing and I would dance and I would, that was my Sunday bathing routine. Uh, of course, I still miss the singing and dancing, but the soap was so toxic now that I read the ingredients. Now, coming to face serums. So, most face serums they have parabens, phthalates, PEGs, synthetic fragrances, formaldehyde releasing preservatives like DMDM, hydantoin. I mean, you can't even pronounce most of the ingredients. Sunscreen. Protection is very, very important, but we have to go for the natural alternatives. Otherwise, most sunscreens, the cheaper ones, they have oxybenzone, octinoxate, homosalate, octocrylene, synthetic fragrances. I'm just throwing these words at you so that when you start reading labels, if any of these you see, just Google them out or just read about them, see whether you should use them or just throw them away. And these are so toxic you can't even give them away. You have to like literally throw them away. Lotions and creams. Uh, so a lot of the facials that we get done, they get these, cheap. I used to get some fruit facial done. It wasn't with real fruit. There was some fruit cream that used to be there. It smelled very good, but it had all these ingredients. Now, of course, the lady who comes home, I give her grated potato, grated cucumber, honey, milk, sugar. So I make a tray with 8 to 10 products, and I say do a facial with this. So everything that I can eat, that is what she does facial with. So now, of course, the format has changed, but in the regular creams, this is what it is. The refined oils that we use in our kitchens for cooking, same thing. So they have refined means refined with chemicals. So always going for cold pressed oils. Cold presses, you take the seeds, you press them in a cold press mill, and the oil comes out. That is the best way. But if you put the seeds in a machine with chemicals to remove whatever oil that remains, that is like refined oil. It is definitely cheap, but it is very, very bad for our health. White sugar. I don't know if some of you use white sugar, but it is good to use demerara sugar or jaggery. White sugar is again, it is full of bleach and is very, very toxic. Also very addictive. My son has stopped sugar completely. He's 16 years old, but um, because we talk about all these things, anything that we read, we study, we discuss with each other, and there's so much of learning on a daily basis in our homes. So a lot of things we've just left. So even me and my husband, we do have some jaggery powder, but in our drinks. But my son has completely stopped. Then moving on to dairy. Again, there's a lot of bleach that goes in it. A lot of dairy is not even dairy. So if you were to put all the milk supply of India in 4 bottles, only one bottle comes from the cow. So what about the other 3 bottles? And what is it that you are drinking? So there's a lot of manufactured milk, there's a lot of adulterated milk, there's a lot of bad milk in the market. And if you're unsure, I mean, if you have to have milk, uh, go to a cow farm and get milk, which you know is safe. Otherwise, what you're getting at home is 75% is toxic. Honey, again, honey, the cheap ones, they have a lot of added sugar syrups, artificial sweeteners, antibiotics, pesticides, and overheating and ultra processing. Honey becomes very toxic when it is heated. So, if anything, if they are processing the honey with some other things like ginger extracts or tulsi extracts or other such extracts, I'm not sure if, what honey you are buying, but it's good to just see, just study it before you take a decision. Packaged foods, most of them have all of these issues like trans fats, refined vegetable oils, added sugars, excess sodium, artificial additives. So anything that comes out of a packet is ideally avoided. Carbonated drinks. Uh, my dad worked in a carbonated drink company all his life, and after his retirement, he started, telling us the truth that whatever Baba Ramdev is saying is absolutely right, and it's actually a toilet cleanser and very, very toxic, very acidic for the body. Should not be used. So there is no carbonated drink that comes to my house. We all drink nimbu pani, nariyal pani, all these natural drinks. Junk foods, that's a big one with the kids right now. Uh, so there's this guy who did a study on McDonald's, and I mean it's there online. If you want, you can search it out. And I read it somewhere, I don't know where, many years back, that he stopped eating regular food. He said 1 year I will just be on McDonald's food, uh, all 3 meals. And within a few months, he had to be hospitalized. He didn't even complete a year. All his vitals. I mean, he got himself tested before getting into McDonald's diet. And then when he was hospitalized, of course, everything was tested again. All his vitals went bad. It is so toxic. And the other study that was done again on McDonald's is one lady, she bought a burger and she kept it in her kitchen. She kept it for some time, I think a few months or so, 3 or 4 months. Nothing happened to that burger. I mean, there was no fungus, no nothing. So, which means it comes with so many preservatives that nothing happens to it. Anything natural. Within a few days, I mean, you try to buy some onion and potato and not use it for a week, 10 days. It will develop fungus. There's something that will go wrong. But nothing goes wrong in these packaged goods, which means the amount of preservatives that are going in. And also, I've personally worked in McDonald's and KFC uh, when I started my career. So I have worked there. I'm just for the love of junk food, couple of months each places, and nothing is produced in any McDonald's in terms of ingredients. Everything comes from the US just to keep the taste intact or the taste homogenized across all countries. Everything comes from US. It is shipped, and because it has to be shipped and it has to stay in all these countries for a long time, they don't know when it will be sold. So a lot of preservatives go in it. So, yeah, thank God my son is off junk food. I mean, thank God for Little Mercies. Lipsticks, a lot of us love using them, but then there are safe brands and there are unsafe brands. So the unsafe brands, they can have all these issues: lead, parabens, phthalates, synthetic dyes, synthetic fragrances. So and nothing is written on the lipstick. I mean, it's such a small thing. They don't even have space to mention all the ingredients. But if you go to the websites of these products, I've personally done that. And many brands I used to love while growing up, like Lakme and all, I've stopped using them because they're so toxic. So study the brand, study the ingredients, and then decide the safe brands. And some safe brands we will be discussing in a later slide. Perfumes, the same thing continues. Synthetic fragrances, phthalates, musk. A lot of times they don't even disclose the composition because they don't want it to be copied. But then it also means we don't know what's going in the perfumes. Nail paints. I've stopped, painting my nails for this reason because, again, it's so toxic, and through the nail beds, everything like gets inside your skin. So I personally have been to a lot of nail spas and I've got a lot of these. artificial nails and nail paints done, but that's a thing of the past. And now, of course, I'm educated, so I can't even do these things. Home care cleansers. Again, don't go for the cheapest options because सिर्फ बाई अफेक्टेड नहीं होती है. Of course, the buys are most affected, the ones who's actually doing the pocha and all. They'll because of the choices we make, they'll be unwell very very soon. But we also inhale everything. तो जो पोछा मारते हैं उनको तो जो टच होता है हम भी इनहेल करते हैं. So also very very toxic for us. Our pets also are on that the same space. Massage oils, hair oils. Uh, Once a doctor had called me from a very big company and she wanted to leave the job, or she had left the job. She wanted to join us, and she was a specialist in hair oils, hair massage oils, and we got talking. And I said, she said her hair oils are very very potent. I said, what is it that you use? What is the base oil that you use? She said mineral oil. I said mineral oil is a petroleum derivative. Why mineral oil? She said it's so cheap. उससे कॉस्टिंग ठीक रहती है. कहती जड़ी बूटियाँ अच्छी यूज़ कर लो पर बेस ऑयल तो हमेशा मिनरल ऑयल लेना चाहिए. And I thought what sort of a doctor she is if she is talking so much crap. Mineral oil, people who use, and more than 80% hair oils and body massage oils, even the baby oils are made with mineral oil. Why is it done that? Done so because mineral oil, the costing is 60 to 70 rupees a liter. So actually costing ठीक बैठती है. But if you were to use oils like sesame, coconut, then the costing comes to 400-500 rupees per liter. I mean, just the oil costing. Of course, the jari booties and everything, and they are much more than that. But because of that cost, most industry uses mineral oil. And mineral oil over the long term can lead to skin cancers. That's why you see a lot of cancer cases now because of the ingredients that are used in our products. Now moving on to magnesium oil. Magnesium oil is something that I studied in one of the workshops I attended. The difference between blue zones and other areas of the world is the amount of magnesium that is there in their water. Blue zones are areas where people live to be 100. There are 5 such areas in the world, and most people are centenarians there. And the reason is there is more magnesium in the water that they use. Uh, Magnesium is also present abundantly in the oceans around us. But in the other landlocked areas like Delhi, Gurgaon, where I am, uh, the magnesium is depleted in the soil. So you need to supplement magnesium in some way or the other. And the best way to supplement magnesium is transdermally through skincare products. Magnesium is not so much absorbed by oral tract. So if you were to take a magnesium pill or foods with magnesium, itna benefit nahi hoga. You only get some 5-10% of magnesium from there. The best way to absorb magnesium is to apply a magnesium oil, magnesium cream, magnesium lotion, something on the skin. It is better absorbed through skin. So it is important to include this in your daily life. Now moving to aloe vera gel. Now we are talking about some ingredients that you must have in your daily routines. Aloe vera gel, but most of the aloe vera gel that is available in the market is green. In nature, aloe vera gel is transparent. So if you see in a green aloe vera gel, it means some color goes in it, and that's a synthetic color. And also it smells very good. But if you were to just cut a leaf from your garden and smell it, there is no smell. Aloe vera is odorless. So pure aloe vera gel should be transparent and odorless. If you see color, if you see fragrance, then you should read the ingredients and decide whether you should buy it or use it or not. So these are the impacts of toxins on our bodies, and I'm sure most of you would have seen these impacts while growing up. I mean, I definitely have. The things that we just discussed. So dryness, sensitivity, premature aging, hair fall, thinning, hormonal imbalance in the body, toxic overload, inflammation, allergies. All these are due to toxic overload, and also gut issues, IBS, constipation. Our skin is our largest organ, but it is full of pores. And anything that you apply on the skin, what we discussed earlier, it gets inside the bloodstream. This is how a skin looks like under a microscope. And long term load, toxic overload, can lead to irritation, sensitivity, hormonal disruption, inflammation, and even cancer. So, on hair, this is how a hair looks like under the microscope. This is what happens when there's toxic overload on your scalp, on your hair. Cuticle damage, protein breakdown, artificial coating of silicones, scalp imbalance, irritation, dryness, dandruff, sensitivity, disrupted hair growth cycle, and long term impact can be thinner, weaker hair with reduced resilience and natural vitality. You know the truth about Bollywood? Most people do not have hair because of all the chemical treatments they get done, because it is a need for their careers, they always have to look good. So a lot of people, they have less hair or no hair, and a lot of people use hair pieces, hair wigs, and a lot of people also have hair transplants done because of all the toxicity that we studied. So they undergo it because they have to use so many more products than us. They still have the option of not doing makeup. They, I guess, they don't have that option. So, how to read the toxic load? So, start with the ingredient list. It's always in descending order. So, the first few products are very, very important. First few ingredients are very important. Watch for the red flags, the words that we discussed today. Watch for them. Decode fragrance. Uh, Look for simplicity. Smaller ingredients, lesser ingredients, always better. Less is more. Check the function, not the claims. Uh, uh, the claims are like natural, herbal, clean, they are marketing terms. Go for the ingredients. And think frequency of use. Daily use products will have more impact than products which are used like once a month. Or, if you're just using makeup just before a party, which happens like once a year, a wedding in the family, which happens once in a few years, it's okay. But if you were to use makeup every day, it's not okay at all. So these are some better swaps which you can do in terms of for refined oils. Use cold pressed oils. Chemical shampoos use the sulfate-free cleansers. White sugar use jaggery, coconut sugar, raw honey, demerara sugar. Synthetic skincare use plant-based skincare. Chemical toothpaste use herbal toothpaste. Alcohol-based mouthwashes do oil pulling with natural oils like coconut or sesame. Instead of packaging snacks, go for nuts and seeds, homemade options. Like earlier, I used to buy these salad dressings. I'm just an example I'm giving. Now I make this hunkered spread every single day, and along with our salads, along with whatever we have that. एक पुदीने की चटनी होती है रोज और एक hunkered spread होता है. So that is what we have our meals with. Nothing else. We have no achars, no outside chutneys, no nothing. Instead of chemical perfumes, use essential oil based natural fragrances. Instead of chemical lotions and creams, use pressed oils and clean moisturizers. Instead of harsh home cleansers, you go for the plant based cleansers. And this is why we came into being. My presentation is now coming to an end. I hope there's been some learning for all of you. We are into ritual based living, conscious consumption. We blend Ayurveda and modern science, and sensory luxury and purity. These are some of the pillars on which my company stands, why we came into being, why I'm into this line now. These are some of the safe brands that you can go in for. These are some of the brands that I personally also use. And I don't get any benefits from other brands. I'm just talking from my own experience that these brands can be used. These are some recommendations for monsoon since there's it's monsoon season right now and a lot of people are having these skin and hair issues. I thought I'll discuss about some of the issues we all face because I get these calls on a daily basis. ये हो गया है, ये issue है, बेटी को, husband को, क्या करें? So this is what I recommend. These are some of the products for monsoons that I recommend that are present in my website. So anybody wants to use anything, you can always take from there. That's it from me. And now, if there are any questions, happy to take them. Hi. Very good, very good. Thank you. I'll share this PPT with you. I haven't used this particular brand, so I can't say, but you can uh, either share the ingredient list with me or you can just take a picture, put it on Chat GPT. Just ask, is it safe brand to use? Are these chemicals safe? Are these ingredients safe? Just do that. Na? Take a picture of the ingredients and put it on any AI tool. Let it decipher it for you. अभी तो इतना simple है ये सब करना. I don't know. मैं तो अपने बेटे के लिए भी कर्ल स्प्रे फ्लैक्सीड जेल से बनाती हूँ. अभी तो ये सब चीजें हम लेते ही नहीं. So I don't know. I've made a curl gel for him and then I make it like fresh. He does बाल ही नहीं काट रहा आजकल वो crunch करते हैं. This is in right now I guess for with kids. So then I thought let me then make a curl gel only for him if he's not cutting his hair. उसको लंबे लंबे रखने हैं तो ऐसे ही सी. नहीं नहीं नहीं. There's so many things I made which are not available, which I just custom made for my family. Certain things my sister wants, something my niece wants, my husband wants. I just make it for them and I give it. Yeah. My sister had pigmentation. She used to use makeup on a daily basis. एक तो उसने makeup बंद कर दिया and I gave her a routine to follow and her pigmentation is gone. I met her yesterday. So it does work, but you have to give it at least a month. But it does work. Overnight कुछ नहीं होता natural. Yeah, yeah. Most welcome. Anybody else any questions or can we call it a day? Yeah, Neja. Neja, what is your question? Your voice is coming and going and I can't understand you. Some of them. You'll have to study the ingredients. You'll have to take a picture of the ingredients and put it in some AI portal and see. Not all of them. यू हैव टू बाय कोल्ड प्रेस्ड ऑयल्स. आजकल कोल्ड प्रेस की वर्जन्स हर एक ब्रांड की मिलती है. अ, नीचे आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. नीचे वी कैन यू कैन ऑल्सो पुट योर क्वेश्चंस इन अनंता ग्रुप और समथिंग. You can send it to me on WhatsApp as well, and I'm happy to take it there. ठीक है? I'm not understanding you. Sorry. Anybody else? Any questions? Rukmini, Mamta, Anita.